What's up, guys? I'm still here. I'm still alive. Everything's fine. Everything's good. I am doing well. I am good. Today is a new day. Today is not a repeat of yesterday whatsoever. Today is the start of my action plan. I have my action items written down next to me right here that I'm ready to get going and rolling. And I have some stuff to talk about in the normal realms of this show today. I'm going to get to Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, and I'll get to Jade Cargill and her WWE SmackDown debut last night. But I just did want to address some of you who reached out to me in the last however many hours it's been. I don't even know if it's been 12 hours. Yeah, it's been a little bit more than 12 hours. But in the since yesterday, because I've gotten an outpouring of messages based on yesterday's show and an outpouring of support. And I do appreciate that. But I wanted to make sure, this isn't a pity party. That wasn't the point. And I think most people understood the point, but that wasn't the point. And I was talking to one of my friends last night, and he said, all well and good, but stop at self-doubt. And I think that's some of the feedback I've gotten from other people out there too, is like, don't doubt yourself. And I don't. That wasn't the point. The point was, it was more like an internal monologue I was sharing with you, and vulnerability I was trying to share with you. But that wasn't like a, again, yesterday was the day to feel. Today is the day to move on. But really, the point wasn't any sort of self-doubt, because I said I could do it on my own. That's the thing. I said I could do it on my own. And what's up, Kevin? And that's the opposite of self-doubt, that I can do it on my own. And I don't need one of these entities. Now, one of these entities is very likely going to hire me and everything will be good. But my point was in that regard. So I just wanted y'all to know I don't doubt myself at all. I know what I'm capable of. In fact, in order to succeed at that, I believe I'm better than anybody. I used to tell my fellow staffers at SI, I think I'm the best on the planet at identifying what people are talking about, what people want to talk about, and figuring out how to resonate and cut through the noise in that regard. Because some people have bigger platforms than I did, and I was able to cut through the noise. And now, obviously, people have bigger platforms than I do individually, still able to cut through the noise. I know I can establish a relationship with an audience, as you guys are in here and constantly in the chat and following along. So I just wanted everybody to know I appreciate the messages. I do. But I knew what I was doing yesterday. Like I said, when I said it, I don't know, everybody would have told me not to do it, but I knew what I was doing. I wasn't out of my head. I just was sharing. That's all. And anytime you have a internal monologue like that, you're going to get, some of those voices in your head, some of those detractors in your head. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Appreciate you guys. I don't know. Again, I don't know how many people watch this Saturday morning, not normally scheduled time. But considering the way things have gone down, I'm going to run these when I want to run them, and we'll figure it out from there. But I got it. I'm good. On to the next. Move on. Today is a new day. So I just wanted you guys to know that I'm good. And let me give a shout out to my wife, because I did talk about them not being here yesterday. And she is going through something similar job-wise. And she's working really, really hard. So I don't want to, I want to make sure Deepika, you understand. I know how hard you're working, and I know you're going through the same thing, and it's a rough spot. So, I appreciate that for sure. And my son, I talked about that, and she's obviously been there for him as we get ready for WrestleMania next weekend. But I did want to just get on here and respond to the messages that I have gotten, because I've gotten a lot of them. And that's part of the reason that I'm doing this right now, is because for the vast majority of them have said, seen the show, love the show, keep your head up, blah, blah, blah. My head's up. My head wasn't down. You know, well, I mean, I guess like, look, I mean, I won't say I wasn't going through it. You saw it. I was going through it, but that is now in the past. Today is, they say the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. And here we are today, not tomorrow, with a response. And I wanted to just give you guys that that I received them both from people I know and people I don't know, but that I'm not doubting what I do. I'm not doubting who I am. That's for damn sure, because I'm nice. I know for a fact I'm nice. That was part of what I was laying out yesterday. By any objective measure, I performed. And by my own internal belief system, I know I'm going to perform. And I know, I can do it on a myriad of outlets. But basically, my point at the beginning was that what I've learned in this process, and I'm thankful for learning in this process, is regardless of how things shake out, I can just do this and I'll have a following and I'll have an outlet and I'll have a platform and I'll have supporters. So appreciate that. I'm not going to, this is not the way this show is going to develop from here on out going forward. But I just wanted to mention that there. Now let's get to some actual topics. Jalen Brunson, a Knicks legend. You guys, this is, where does Jalen Brunson rank amongst the all-time greatest Knicks at this point? I feel like at worst, he's the best Knick since Patrick Ewing. And that's at worst. I did like the way Victor Wembanyama threw the ball into the crowd yesterday. If you didn't see that, here's the video of that real quick. Victor Wembanyama chucking Jalen Brunson's ball into the crowd.
Has it, and it's over. Knicks fall short in one of the most thrilling and exhausting games.
The 61-point ball is just tossed to the side by Victor Wembanyama, who you have to love Wemby's attitude. You have to love Wemby's competitive spirit to go. When I saw LeBron first, my question with LeBron was, I'd gone in skeptical, saying there's no way he's going to be as good as all these people say he is. And then you saw LeBron's physical stature. You saw his physical stature, and you saw LeBron's IQ, his basketball IQ. Those things were immediately apparent. And then the only question after that would be work ethic, right? How much does this guy want it? And we've seen LeBron prove how much he wants it. So when you put the physical specimen that he is in conjunction with the basketball IQ that he has, and you add he's also as hard a worker as anybody, you get what you get with LeBron James. You get what you get with LeBron James. And Victor Wembanyama, same thing goes for him, right? I mean, Victor Wembanyama, we see the freakish talent. We see how tall this guy is. We see the ability to shoot the ball and face up and handle the ball and the skill set that he has with his measurables. And to me, then the question becomes, does he have the right head on his shoulders? And we've seen that with Victor Wembanyama. He's got the right head on his shoulders. He's the kind of guy who just gets it from a competitive standpoint, from a lot of, standpoints. Victor Wembanyama is that dude. But on the losing side of that is Jalen Brunson. And when Jalen Brunson signed with the Knicks, I don't think anybody would have thought, wow, this guy is going to be what he became with them. You saw Brunson with the Mavericks, and in some of those games where Luka was out, he really stepped up. He really stepped up his game when Luka was out, and that was impressive to see. but you did wonder, okay, is this something that Brunson can do consistently? Because that's a question that always needs to be answered. And sure as hell did and has with the Knicks. I wonder when you look at Brunson and what he's done, where he does rank with the Knicks. 60-something points in a game. People are hesitant to call him a superstar. I'm not sure there's any other word for Brunson other than superstar right now. And it's extremely impressive the way he's able to get to his spaces, get to his shots at all times. And I think like I said, at worst, he's better than Carmelo Anthony as a Knick. No disrespect to Melo. He's better than Carmelo Anthony as a Knick. And I would say he's making a run at Patrick Ewing if he hasn't got there already. Brunson he's that dude. He's a problem. He's a beast. So ultimate respect to him. And shout out to the Knicks for that decision. Well, I mean, he got I don't know, when is his contract up? And he got a pretty decent contract. Remember, that was the scrutiny at the time. Was the contract that he got. But he deserved it. He does deserve it. I'm trying to think of, like, it's Ewing or Brunson. And I mean, I don't want to disrespect what Patrick Ewing accomplished either, because I think sometimes that gets lost. I mean, that Knicks team was consistently in the playoffs, was consistently making a run, was consistently competing. So there's no reason that people should sleep on Patrick Ewing and his accomplishments. But Brunson's a whole different style of player. He does see AJ. That's my fan from Chicago. We were going back and forth a little bit last night. Appreciate the messages, AJ. Appreciate you being here in the chat on this Saturday morning. I know people got other things to do. By the way, I will be on Mad Dog Sports Radio tomorrow morning, Easter Sunday. So I definitely not doing one of these shows tomorrow. The next one will probably be Monday. But I got some stuff I'm cooking up too now. Again, today was the action. Yesterday was the feelings. Today's the action plan day. I have 3 items on my agenda that I have to get through first, and then I'll put the next 3 items on my agenda after that. But one of them is a new launch that hopefully I could get rolling out next week. A new little series. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. I'm just going to drop it when it's ready. But yeah, Brunson, what do you guys think? Kevin says he's the best Knick since Ewing. I love Melo, but he didn't win anything. We've won with Brunson. Yeah, I mean, Brunson, well, I mean, look, it's not like Melo's team didn't win as much as Brunson's team. Let's be fair to Carmelo, too, because the team the J.R. Smith, Tyson Chandler team that won 50-something games, they won a playoff series. They made the playoffs and won a playoff series. They didn't just not win at all. They had a really good year that year. So I don't want to sleep on Carmelo completely. But that's I just got a comment in that's funny. I don't know if it's coming in through the screen, but it's on my X, my Twitter. It just says, if you become jaded and cynical about the industry, you can always cultivate. This is from the Eric Maynard, a massive brain dead audience, and make millions just complaining about wokeness for every single topic. Make sure to throw the words triggered and destroyed in the thumbnails. That's true. That's a funny comment because the word woke has come up so often in recent times. But yeah, Brunson is he's special. And he's got, like, the thing about Ewing, there's the big man, there's nothing like beautiful about Patrick Ewing's game. There was never anything beautiful about Patrick Ewing's game, even in his heyday. There was nothing beautiful about Patrick Ewing's game. It was always kind of like slow and lumbering, and dump the ball to Ewing in the block and see what he could do, and the little pull-up jumpers that he would hit and the like. So there's something much more aspirational about Brunson's game. he's the kind of player, and you see the hard work that he's put in. You see the way he's been able to shut up every doubter that's been in his way. Because obviously there's been a lot of doubters for Brunson over the years. Ali says, I feel like that year was orchestrated by Jason Kidd's greatness. Yeah, you forget about Jason Kidd on that team with the Knicks. You forget about, some of the vets that were on that team. Was Pablo Prigioni on that team? The year before was the Jeremy Lin team. That team was the team I'm talking about that won the playoff series was Raymond Felton was the point guard, right? Did JR start or come off the bench? And they had Melo, Tyson Chandler. Good morning, Ernesto. What's up, man? Told you guys, I'm just going to run these when I feel like running them now. Be on the lookout during the week. Might be earlier times because of, schedule openings and the like. But I think I'm not going to marry this show anymore to days and times. I'm going to marry it to when I feel like going live because I see many of you, you guys will show up and I appreciate that. And like I said, the main reason I did one today, there's a couple things I think were worth talking about, like from a content standpoint. But the main reason I did one today is I just wanted to show you guys I'm good. I was sharing yesterday. I was, obviously vulnerable, but I am not doubting myself. I do not doubt myself, or I would not be here in this moment. So shout out to Dave, my neighbor, who did tell us. I went out with some of the guys last night, and he told me, stop at self-doubt, and hence the title of this episode here today. Hence the title. I probably could have titled it SEO, more SEO friendly, but I'm not really doing this one for views. I'm pretty good at the SEO stuff, by the way. I learned that over the years in putting up my own stuff on SI, where I write the title and all that and figure out how to stack the keywords and all that nonsense, gaming the system, as a lot of these places like to do or try to do. I mean, look, that is what it is. Nothing against that, actually. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share. Make sure you comment. All those things. Let me know where you think. Is Brunson better than Patrick Ewing? I guess that's the question. Would you take Brunson over Patrick Ewing as an all-time Knick? Because I think people would take him over. Almost everybody would take him over Carmelo Anthony at this point as an all-time Knick. So, yeah, there you have it on that topic. The only other one I had that I wanted to get to was Jade Cargill's debut on SmackDown. She's a star. She's different, right? Like, she's a different level force. I don't think when you see her, like, just her presence is a present, as they say. And I'm excited she's going to be involved in WrestleMania now. I think, they needed to put her there. She's there with Naomi and Bianca Belair, as you can see, against Damage Control. But they've taken their time with her. They've gotten her ready, and they brought her onto the scene, and you just see the star power. You just see that she is the kind of personality, the kind of figure, the kind of charismatic superstar that, once in a generation, once in a lifetime, maybe, I would say. I'm not even trying to gas. She is special. Everything about the way she appears, the way she carries herself, it's just says star. And you know what was good publicity for her was X-Men 97. Because X-Men 97 came out a couple weeks or a week before, and Jade's using this "a storm is coming" mantra that she's got going on. A storm is coming. And if you watched X-Men 97, the first episode, Cyclops has that line. He's like, "Give me the forecast," and then you see Storm arrive, and the Sentinels are like, "Omega level mutant detected." Let me see. Actually, let me see if I can find that clip real quick. Omega level mutant detected, and that's what Storm. I mean, that's what Jade is. She's an Omega level professional wrestler. Omega level, and Storm is such a good character. From the X-Men, I think she's gotten slept on a bit over the years. I think I found the clip. Hang on one second. See if I can pop it up real fast.
Forecast.
There we go. Storm is a badass. And it's good, like I said, it's good synergy with Jade Cargill coming and her using, I mean, because obviously she's clearly making a reference to Storm with that entire entrance, with that entire persona, the Storm is coming narrative. Because she obviously being a black woman and Storm being the most notable black female superhero, there's a level of, I don't know if the word is relatability. You know what I'm trying to say. And that works really well, and it has worked really well. And Jade is an absolute star. Jade looked like $1 million. Her entrance was basically her AEW one, but on steroids. Yeah, it was it was they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing with Jade. There's no question. Ali says I was catching up on SmackDown when I was interrupted by a notification saying Robin Lundberg is live. LOL. Sorry guys. Didn't want to mess up your Saturday morning. I'm not going to do a long show today. Just a quick pop in. I just wanted everybody to see and know that I heard them and that I'm good. X-Men 97 childhood memories. Yep. Childhood memories is for sure. I mean, the happiest I can remember ever being in life it was waking up for Ninja Turtles and X-Men back to back. I told you guys the other day, I saw a stat about how many people have rewatched the old X-Men series after this. And it's amazing because I saw my youngest son, Rohan, doing it. I saw him, he was sitting on the couch and he asked if he could watch X-Men again. Because we had obviously watched X-Men the day before, I think. So he's sitting on the couch and he says, Can I watch X-Men again? And I'm like, of course, bud. And I put it on, and sure enough, he watches through the episodes and then starts watching through the old episodes. Because I get down there and he's Jubilee's in the mall, like in the original series when they got her. So that is a testament in real time of how that's working for them. And she is he is, he's 2 years old going on 3 and into the X-Men now. So I do think that was good publicity for Jade Cargill to get her entrance and her debut happening at the same time as that X-Men relaunch has happened. Ernesto says, I'll take Brunson over Melo. He's done more in a shorter period of time, and he's willing to play with others. He doesn't have that Linsanity thing going on. Yeah, here's a little insight for you. There was definitely a tinge of jealousy during the Linsanity period with Melo and that whole team, or not the whole team, but a faction of the team. I covered the team at that time, and one of the players on the team I was friends with, so we would hang out, and I was with that player the night Mike D'Antoni was fired, I believe. And he was not happy. So it was a D'Antoni supporting player on that team. And he had some choice words for Carmelo Anthony that night. I mean, he was heated. So I'll take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, of course. But he did not love the way Melo carried himself that season or dealt with D'Antoni that year. So there was that element going on. Then the next year, what's funny is the next year, They ran the same sets that they ran with Lynn, just with Felton and Carmelo in the corner. They ran D'Antoni's offense under Mike Woodson. They really did. Melo was playing that stretch 4 position out in the corner. Raymond Felton and Tyson Chandler were running the high screen and roll, and that was effective for them. And Melo had a great, and Melo was, he wanted to be a Knick. He was a good Knick. I'm not, crapping on his career or anything, but I do think there is something about Jalen Brunson that cuts through a little bit more. Something about his spirit, his attitude, his underdog mentality that he's capitalized on and brought to the table with the team. So Brunson he's a real player. He's a real hooper. There's no question. He's a real hooper. So, I wanted to talk about him. Wanted to talk about Jade Cargill. Like I said, I'm excited that she's going to be at WrestleMania. That was all I really had on the agenda for today. So any other comments, you can get them in. I'm not going to do a long show. I got stuff to do, things to get to, and the like. But I also wanted to let you guys know, because I did have so many people reach out to me, that I am good. I'm fine. I am pushing forward. Today is a new day. Yesterday was the day for feelings. Today is the day for action. I got my list. I got it written out right now. It's right to the right of me right now. I'm not going to share it with you guys, but I got it, one at a time. I'm going to X through those. Then I'm going to put the new things down on the list, and I'm going to X through those, and I'm going to keep going and keep pushing forward and keep, rocking with you guys here in the meantime as well. Like I said, I think 2 of these things are procedural on my list, but the other one is content-wise, that I will get hopefully launched by next week, a new series in addition to this, not in lieu of this. Al Estrella, in my opinion, I don't think Melo wanted to be a part of the whole insanity stuff. Yeah, I mean, well, look, Melo came to New York to be the guy for the Knicks. He came to New York to be the guy for the Knicks, and then all of a sudden, Jeremy Lin got all of the attention and all of the love. And it's, it was, I don't think Melo, at that point in his career, I don't think he was ready for that. I think I saw Melo mature, to be honest with you, while I was covering the team, in the way he walked around and carried himself. And he was nice enough. Like, I used to have the Knicks fans give me a lot of crap, and I had Melo record a drop for me that said, what did he say? Hey, this is Carmelo Anthony and Knicks fan police, leave Robin alone. So Melo was cool. I don't want to come across like crapping on him, but it is the truth that he did not love that situation. And remember, Jeremy Lin got he was on the cover, speaking of SI, he was on the cover of SI back-to-back issues. And Linsanity was the biggest story in sport. I remember being in Chinatown. Now, this almost sounds like racist in retrospect, because everybody's running to Chinatown to get quotes on Jeremy Lin. But I remember running into Rachel Nichols in Chinatown. Al says, nice Hulk in the background. I have a red one myself. Yeah, that's a good, those 2 were sent to me. The Wolverine and the Hulk back there are good, like real replica, like not but good statues. Those are high quality statues. That belt is a toy. I think it works. And that the comic, as I've shown, is actually Incredible Hulk number 181. It's actually the first appearance of Wolverine. So that is a real deal comic back there. Unfortunately, it's ripped in the corner of the cover, or else I would just sell that and not worry about anything else. But that is actually the Incredible Hulk, number 181. Ali says, I love the list. It gives visualization to maintaining motivation of my goals. Yeah. AJ says, proud of you for putting those thoughts and emotions into action. Yeah. Again, yesterday, I opened up with you all there, and like I said, there's no question I was going through it. Like, you see it. I'm not fronting that I was like, great, but that was part of the healing process, and that was part of the, I needed that for myself. I felt much better after I did that. I felt much better. And I literally and figuratively got myself up. I did. And today, I'm back. Today's a new day. The page has turned. I'm not looking in the past anymore. I'm looking toward the future. In fact, I'm looking toward the present because I can't really look toward the future. If I look toward the future, that's where the worries and stuff come in. I look toward the present. I am tackling this day by day. And there is no doubt that I'm going to do it. There is zero doubt that I'm going to do it. And I have zero doubt about my abilities to do it or what I do well because I am nice as fuck at this. So anybody who was wondering about that aspect of it, that was, I was talking through it myself, talking through it. But like I said, I know that I don't even need anybody anymore, which is not what I would have thought in the past. In a past existence, I would have thought, what do I do if I don't have ESPN or SI or Fox Sports or Sirius or CBS Sports Radio? Or, by the way, I've worked at all those places. Pretty good resume. Pretty good resume to work at those media companies. But the point was, I don't need those media companies in order to succeed or do what I do. Don't need them anymore. So in a way, I was trying to do the opposite of showing any doubt. But for all the loving messages I got, there were a few that, that was the most, like, I don't know about critical or more concerned tinge. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that is not a worry. That is not a problem. That is not an issue. And today is a new day. Today is a new day. Allison, where are your seats for WrestleMania going to be at? I think we're in. It was impossible to get good seats, and the prices for the seats is so crazy. I got the seats on the side. I couldn't get them when they first went on sale. I got them on the secondary market after the right when it seemed like The Rock was going to be there is when I grabbed them. Right when it looked like The Rock was going to be there. So I scooped those up really quickly in section 217. So we're row 5, section 217. And that's where my son and I will be for WrestleMania 40 in Philly. WrestleMania 40 in Philly. So anyhow, I just did want to hop on here, let you guys know I was doing good, share a few more moments with you and get some of those topics on the table. You got to learn how to spell Ernesto. Mellowed, Lin, Lynn. Yeah, I know Ernesto. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I guess I was trying to say that yesterday too. And I think I made it clear, but emotions and all that. And when you're going through it, when you're in the storm, as Jade would say, some of these things can overwhelm you a little bit, or maybe something could come out wrong. So I just wanted to make sure people knew that I did not have any doubts about my abilities, nor what I am capable of doing. Big Sean Bounce Back was I had an ESPN laid off playlist when that happened. And the weirdest thing about that is that was the most confident I've ever been is when the ESPN thing went down. And Big Sean Bounce Back was on there for sure. And then 444 came out around the same time. And yeah, I wound up, making that monster hit video for SI the first time I ever read off a teleprompter, and was in the door there very quickly shortly thereafter. So that is for sure one of those songs that bumps in that occasion. All right, everybody, click like, click like and subscribe, comment, share, all that. But I did just want to say what's up, let you know I'm good. Let you know, I do not doubt myself, my abilities, or how I will bounce back from all that I was discussing yesterday. I just was sharing with you, and I was just being open, honest, and vulnerable. I know you guys got a lot to do. It's a Saturday. It's a weekend. Shouts to Jalen Brunson for what he's done for the Knicks. Shouts to Jade Cargill on her SmackDown debut. And shouts to all of you guys for hanging out with me. I'll talk to you probably next week, early next week. Until then, it will be the same